Hi everyone, welcome back to Get Your Deck Out episode 10. This is me, Old Emo Dave. I'm here with Scott 11's MTG and we're back in episode 10 talking lots of different subjects this week, Scott. We got a lot to cover and not much time. How you been though?
Yeah, we're talking Dave winning and us beginning to edge.
That's right. With a little bit of pioneering in between, bringing back to the Masters. So, yes, if this is Get Your Deck Out, we are currently live on a Monday evening here in South Wales. We record most weeks and we talk Magic the Gathering with people from the community. Find us mainly on YouTube or Spotify, where you can drop a completely free sub and follow if you want to be part of the action. But this week, very big week if you are a Magic Online person. I'll see shout out to the guys and Torben and the team. This week is Pioneer Masters Week. Or Pioneer Championship Week, so to speak. So yeah, we had this recently with Modern Madness. This is actually the first Pioneer Championship Week. So if you weren't familiar with how that works, is ultimately if you are play a league and you go 5-0, you play in any of the preliminaries and you finish 4-0 or 3-1, or you top it a Pioneer Challenge 32, you get a free entry into the Pioneer Champions Finals this weekend. You can also buy into them, but obviously it's always great to get into something for free, and there is some massive prizes that could be awarded on top of it. Scott, Pioneer isn't really seeing any play else anywhere else, so is this a good time to spike a large tournament? What do you think?
I mean, if you enjoy Pioneer, it's pretty much one of the only times you're going to get where you can actually play it competitively by the looks. It seems that WotC have mostly abandoned Pioneer as a format. We thought, oh, well, maybe they're putting shocks in Edge of Eternities to give people this on ramp into Pioneer. Hopefully, we see some Pioneer bans along with the standard bans kind of revitalize the format because it's dead on its ass. And they made no changes, and the format is not stagnating, but it's on the way there because it's unsupported, and there's no reason for the best players in the world and the brightest players in the world to even try and play it and try and iterate or break the format. So you kind of just end up in a feedback loop. This is a really good system by Daybreak, though, to get people trying the format.
Yeah, do you think part of that sort of like loop is that we have the only real places being played is Magic Online, where like
Yeah, for sure.
all the best players are playing. So all the
Yeah.
solvers, all the GTO, like is all like being put together, and everybody knows the best deck is X, and you just basically refine your gameplay to play that deck, and that is it. That's why there's not so much innovation, and people haven't been trying things because there's no need to get out of that. I need to go 3-2-4-1 in a league. Like obviously 5-0 is like a plus point, but ultimately when you're doing 3-2 or 4-1, you're making profit, so therefore it's like worthwhile. So trying to get the 58% win rate deck in any given
Yeah.
meta is pointless when you can just be very good at the 53% deck and
Yeah,
have a
because
find
then
someone.
if other people are trying the format and they don't really know what they're doing, you can probably push 62, 63% in some ways. I'm just having a look at the most recent challenge, which was yesterday. The top eight was two mono red, two Phoenix, one Grease Fang,
Yeah, baby.
David,
Yeah, baby.
one blue white control, one green white angels, and one. It's labeled Ban Aggro, but it's red white hammer.
Interesting. Interesting.
I think that won as well.
Wow. We'll have to take it.
Kazul's Toll Collector. Let's go.
Yeah, and I love how that card is literally the reason why they held at Pioneer for so long on Arena as well. It's like, we ain't got Kasul, so you're not coming in. It was kind of like the vibe that was given. But really great system, really great week. Obviously, we're going to be playing a bit of Pioneer on the channel, going to put some leagues up, and might even hang around for some streaming after this just to sort of get some leagues in. I do love a Grease Fang deck. I do obviously have a real vibe for the gameplay, but I am loving the Orzhov Grease Fang deck right now. The one that's also got the backup plan of Monument to Endurance, because like you kind of like incidentally do the grease fang thing then, because everyone keeps trying to like sequence being able to remove your one of your 2 drops outside of the Hallow Blade or the new Benalia card, where you just discard a card and it's indestructible, and you just loop through the Monument to Endurances and end up winning. So I love that deck. Obviously, if the format came back tomorrow in a competitive stance, it will. I will one day, I'm sure. That ought to be one of my decks. Like, there was a little hint to it. Like, obviously, we just saw store champs for next season get previewed, and
Fable of the Mirror Breaker,
there
right?
was a certain card in the winner's slot. So like, they've been getting better with their promos. Now, is this maybe just a little nod to you might want to be picking these back up because something's
Well,
coming back, baby?
Monstrous Rage is the participation promo, right? So I'm not sure they think about it in that way. I think they just mostly have a dartboard in the office of cards that need a promo or would be good to give a promo to, and they just go, nah. And where it lands is where it lands. That's how we got Death Shadow twice.
I will say, fantastically good value for playing though, which will lead for the current set of promos, which leads on to me, baby. This week, I had a great weekend. This
Friday and Saturday.
This Friday, as you'll see on the thumbnail, I took down Store Champs in Rules of Play in Cardiff. Got myself the famously £180 to £200 promo, and then
Didn't you get that on a coin flip though?
got it on a coin flip. Yes, but sometimes the coin's got to drop in your direction. No, I got it on break. I did get it on breakers, but got it on good breakers, which is the big thing. I have it on Judge Discord Authority that it wasn't just it wasn't just the fact that I had a better alphabetical order tiebreaker, which is what was potentially suggested at one point. But yeah, Jessica Control, loving the deck. I think it's been really well placed in this meta. Like, that extra 1.5 turns that we now have, thanks to Monstrous Rage going, has really meant that you can kind of get up there and stabilize pretty quickly and be in a good spot to then drop any one of your big dragons, hold them, hold the line and win. But strangely enough, I found that Meringue River Regent was actually the card which won the game more, because it's your Shukos that like keep the tempo, but still very much so that you need to cast get as many of your good old 3 mana draw spells to win the game, essentially, because having a full hand is important. Stock up is just too good.
That's part of Meringue River Regent as well, though, right? Is the backup is Sift?
Yes.
4 mana instant, draw 3, discard a card. Like, that's just a fine card.
Yes.
I'm looking at some standard challenges. I found a list. It's the first one I clicked on from a top 8. It's got 1 Joshua, 1 Lightning. I feel like they were probably just trying those cards out. Joshua seems okay in it, I suppose. Being able to return a Shiko, that sort of thing, you can like do some stuff with that. But I think a lot of the power of it kind of just revolves around how good Lightning Helix is at the minute.
Yes.
And it is genuinely very good. Being able to just be a proactive or semi-proactive in some ways, where you can Lightning Helix a couple of creatures, counterspell a thing, but then slam a Shiko and you're putting pressure on at the same time as answering another thing. They have to answer the Shiko, but then the Meringue River Regent or the Bezer, like that sort of thing, those follow-ups are what actually seal the game. People look at Shiko as this like control finisher. It's not. It's just a middle of the road piece that sits in the middle. It's way closer to Bezer than, say, Dragonlord Ojutai, where it's bridging you from the mid game towards the late game more so than being your finisher that you're just going to sit there and sit behind, like Dream Trawler from Theros Beyond Death, for example.
Yeah, like having the cards out there in the current meta, you tend to need to pull like 2 or 3 spells out of your opponent for them to deal with it, which I found a lot. So obviously, we'll go on to the Sunday results shortly, and playing against the Is It Vivi deck there, which is going to be probably one of the dominant decks for a couple of sets if they let Vivi live. We'll see where that one goes, and they
They do
basically
lose Thrill Seeker.
but yeah, they lose their back at Wincom, but them having to like torch the tower me twice, I'm like, fine, thanks, cool. That's great because your progression on board. I'm just gonna Day of Judgment there, and we're gonna go again. And it has access to Artifact 8, which is another great thing about the deck. I didn't actually tech for a Vivi sideboard meta needed, but I'm sure it's basically going to be stock needed to have like your abrades to be able to shut down shut down them doing the cauldron thing. You can deal with a Vivi. It's when they've got one under a cauldron is what loses you the game. So having protection against that.
Clarion Conqueror is another really good option for that, and I think that card's stonks will be rising for Clarion Conqueror.
I had a lovely moment where on turn 5, I had out a Clarion Conqueror and 2 TIE Binders. So I were still attacking, but their board couldn't do anything either. So
well, you're literally just playing Jeskai tempo at that point, right? Like you're playing Clarion Conquerors and TIE Binders and Lightning Helixes. You're just playing like an old school Restoration Angel Jeskai Flash deck.
Yeah. Exactly. But the deck again did well on the weekend. Yeah, I picked up a loss on the weekend, but we did with friends of the channel, Francis MTG Goatham, and surprisingly good Idris, as we know him.
Surprisingly good.
No, the man himself, Idris, the Ben Jones prodigy as he is in this particular case. On Is It Phoenix? We took this whole lockdown, a little bit of a story is that like this was the value of first place between us. So we did this little bit of a deal of like we'll open the Foundations box and the Brothers War box, and then we sold the Dominaria box because we were like, well, we can only open things that we're going to want to sell anyway in Dominaria, but we'll got stuff that we might want to keep in Foundations. And we got like blue pilled into the fact that there was potentially a really hardcore like 10 mana, £10 cost like green card in the Brothers War ones, which I still think was probably a crock of shit because he was selling the packs for £2. So, but hey, we got a little bit of the nice idea of like we cracked some packs, we got some good gaming. We all know Francis is like absolutely the goat on Boros Energy. He just went undefeated. And then like one of Idris's games, he didn't need to complete because I already won why he's got the draw. So, and I think he basically felt it. He felt the nostalgia of bringing Phoenix back. And I never saw him win with Phoenixes. It was always the cutters. It was like Corey Steelcutter and Phoenix has basically made that deck incredible. And if we saw like your really like top level players such as like your Bens and playing that again at a competitive level, I probably would see that deck hitting a mega nerf because
I wouldn't be surprised if at this point Arclight Phoenix is actually the worst card in the deck.
Yeah, it wasn't played. It really wasn't played.
If I don't know if you maybe just want to play it sort of like how the blue-red prowess decks in Standard that got cutter banned, if you want to play it in that sort of style where leveling up Storm Chaser's talent is getting you a treasure cruise, not a stock card.
Yeah.
That seems good to me. I could be wrong. Obviously, there are more answers in the format to things like Swift Spear and Slickshot Show Off, which I'm not sure about those cards like place in the deck, and if that just means you want to be playing these more resilient threats. But there is a world where you play like Flamewake Phoenix, that sort of thing, where instead of needing to chain spells and chain spells and chain spells, two's a lot easier to do than 3 in a lot of ways. Like we all saw how easy triggering Corey Steelcutter was, whereas with Arclight Phoenix, you do need to jump through a couple of hoops. So it might just be a world where you're meant to play these other sort of recursive threats where you don't need to be casting multiple instants and sorceries, where you can just do Corey Steelcutter plus Opt, that sort of thing. Or you go, you have your 2/2 monk, you go Opt, move to combat, Flamewake Phoenix comes back from the graveyard, that sort of thing. Where you can work on the premise of a Phoenix deck, but without having to play Arc like Phoenix.
Yeah, I think I've seen some shells already from, because obviously we're on Monday night, and this actually started on Sunday night, the Pioneer weekend, and people are basically playing Phoenix, but with Vivies instead of Phoenix. It's pretty much the build now. So we're gonna probably see a very interesting wrap up towards the end of the weekend. I really still think that, as we were talking about it, everyone who's at the event, and again, shout out to Full Fire, obviously our home of the Unity League Nationals coming up in October. I can just see from the background, right? Like that's essentially the Pokemon wall. So like the Pokemon wall is this side, and then you'll see on the vlog. So there'll be a vlog hitting the channel later this week. Where like you can just pick up singles like American style, right? So any of our American friends, like we don't have LGSs over here. Like we do have places we can order from. We don't have go to play and then pick up credit. It's just it doesn't exist. So this is hopefully become one of the more like mecca style places for people to go and come to. And look at this, for like basically a combined 60 quid on a weekend with 4 teams, we took home like near enough £250 worth of prizes. So there's a real care from this store to be building Magic communities.
Full Fire have some of the most generous pricing that I've seen, where you can go and play a 30 quid RCQ, and if you top 8, you're basically walking out with a secret lair.
Yeah.
And yeah, fair enough, that secret lair might only be worth 30, 35 quid or whatever on the secondary market, but top 8ing an RCQ and getting your money back isn't something that happens.
No, not anymore.
Ever?
Not anymore like it should. It's like us in Cardiff and Full Fire, like the only people I know who will do that for what I'm going to call store level RCQ. So like 32 players or less in numbers.
Yeah, for sure. Like I've been to Full Fire for an RCQ. I will be going back basically without question. Whenever there's an RCQ season, they're now on the list of stores that I look at where I'm like, right, when are there RCQs? When can I like make around work and other commitments where unfortunately sometimes life has to come before Magic.
Yeah, exactly.
I wish it didn't have to be this way. If you guys could, like, all of you subscribe and make us like as big as the Professor, so me and Dave can do this professionally and full time, and
that'd be nice.
We can just spend our evenings driving off to Gloucester or flying into Europe and playing an RCQ, vlogging about it, and getting violently drunk in a pub afterwards. That would be the ideal. So you could all like hurry up and give us money.
Warnings. We need the advisory warnings on the content. Then it'd be like, yeah, this is fun content, but don't show it to your kids.
All I'm gonna say is the content would be a hell of a lot better if everyone gave us money. That's all I'm gonna say.
Cool. It's definitely a motto to win by, but also you cannot give us money by just being here and hitting the sub button.
Literally, you can do that as well. Please also do that.
That helps us get money. So like, don't forget your civic duty and get that. Well, sub on either of them. That's fine. I don't mind which one you sub on. Like, just, you can sub on the free one. You can sub on the other one that's free if you've got an Amazon
Give us Prime. Daddy Bezos's money.
Yeah, he doesn't need it. Like
as much as I dislike every fiber of Bezos's being, he has free money to give us. I'm going to accept it.
Well, whilst he still lets Twitch Prime be a thing, let us let us eat. Don't call him daddy. He's probably daddy to many kids that he's paid off over the time as well.
Oh yeah.
So.
Can't wait for those allegations to come out. Huh?
Let's go. We're gonna move on to do a bit of edging. Edge of Eternities is just over a week away at this point.
Is it?
Yeah, basically 10 days. No, 11 days when this comes out now. So another set rammed down our throats. I will remain the way until morale improves. There's lots of cards out there now, but I think obviously lots of people do lots of episodes about previews and shit, and like we can talk all the cards, but I think we just probably would want to like look at for a little bit stuff that we think is going to really like make a difference across multiple formats if need be. I think I've seen at the moment it's felt like there's going to be some standard impacts. Like I usually just basically defer to the Aspiring Spike spreadsheet PowerPoint before I actually make any calls on modern, because then I suddenly go,
I do recommend those videos.
yeah, I go like, oh, holy shit, that's a good call, like, and that is never wrong. Like, there's always like it might work if you're good, but like, it might.
There are times when it's wrong. Don't look at it with rose-tinted spectacles. I went back and watched the MH3 episode recently.
That is true.
And in some ways, like, bang on. I don't think Amped Raptor was actually like the S tier broken thing that he said it was. It was just the easiest thing to take out of the Boros Energy deck to reduce its explosivity. But I think he called like Flare of Cultivation like an S.
And it was definitely some kind of S. More the shit.
Well,
the
exactly.
Shit tier, yeah.
I bought 4 of them, and that should tell you all you need to know.
And they're still firmly in the bulk box. So
under my feet.
Which, if you want your own, don't forget all Demo 10 in the description.
Please do. They're really good. Look, I'm going to show it on camera. I've got a third one.
This is a great visual gaff, by the way. Like for the Spotify viewers, they can see it. They just gotta open up their phone right now, and they'll actually see it. Because we
don't do it if you're driving.
Yeah, don't open your phone whilst you're driving. In fact, you've already just done it and you've crashed. So please turn the podcast off. You weren't listening.
When you stop, have a look at Bulk Box. Use the affiliate code. Buy some of them. They're great people.
And then we'll give more away, because that's the main thing. We give more away than we probably keep, which is our own fault. But right, I'm gonna go first, only because on the weekend, obviously during the victory, I did play against someone playing Mardusak. And they were doing the whole Mardusak thing with FOMO and the Forsaken Miner and Sephiroth. The big thing there, and just in my head, I had Sack switched on at all times. So I was continuously, I think, like, peeing my pants over the fact that, like, I could be in some kind of Sack loop. Because I'd seen this card and assumed that this deck would be running it. But then I think after the event, went, oh yeah, why was I scared of Umbra Colosella today? When
it's not out for another week and a half.
Yeah, I will be scared of it in 2 weeks' time. So, Umbra Colosella, 1 and a black, sacrifice another creature or artifact. Unconditional, this is, by the way. Not a sorcery speed, by the way. And you surveil 1.
And it's a 3/2.
And it's a 3/2. So,
card's good.
This should be a rare, really, in reality. But it's probably top tier uncommon.
I'm happy that they're making uncommons like this, though, where this card is fine to good in limited, probably pretty good in limited, but uncommons in that vein are fine, and there's no way this card gets over £1.
True, yeah.
Great. If they made this a mythic, I'd be pissed off because it'd be £12.
Yeah, that is true. That's the one good thing about this being uncommon. If it's in every deck, it's fine, but
yeah.
It'll be like maybe £2-3 for the start of the set, and then by Christmas it'll be like £1 everywhere, and it'll just it is nice to have those. Like, I think when I was playing Friday in my entry pack, like, I had an absolute stinker of a Duskmourn pack until in the foil slot it was a Shuttle by Ghosts. So you get like oh, okay, cool, fine, thanks. Like, it's nice that some uncommons are hitting that hard. So
yeah.
So like, the real places this is gonna go, definitely gonna go in Sephiroth decks.
Raise the piss,
as we love on the channel. Shout out HMRC for this, because he tries to keep telling me in like the DMs that he's gonna play a proper deck, and then
just turns up with raise the piss.
He will revert back to raise the piss now he's seen this. Let's raise the past for any of the audio listeners who want to look that card up and know exactly what we're talking about. But here he is in the chat. He is lurking. Yeah, I think this is going to be really good. I guess, obviously, there is some sack decks across the formats as well. Like, again, if we touch on Pioneer, like this could help. I don't know if this would actually like enable the Samwise combo any better in Modern, Scott.
No, not really. Visceracia being 1 mana is the most important thing.
Yeah.
And if this was black green, then yes, because you could Green Sun Zenith for it.
True.
But it's not. So you need to just pay attention to the green creatures that are printed. Green Sun Zenith is legal. It's still extremely powerful just because it's not seeing a lot of play outside of Titan. It's available and it's very, very, very good.
Yes. What about yourself? What's been on the top of your wish list here for what we've seen so far?
Pondering the maps or consult the star charts.
Pondering the maps. I love that.
Stock up who?
Yeah. Interesting conversation. Yeah.
1 and a blue instant, kicker 1 and a blue. Look at the top X cards of your library where X is the number of lands you control. Put 1 into your hand. If the spell was kicked, you put 2 of them into your hand. So this is 2 mana, anticipate for as many lands as you have, or Memory Deluge for as many lands as you have. That gets real big, real quick, first of all. Point number 2, it's an instant.
Yeah.
I've played a couple of decks where stock up being a sorcery is a massive pain. I wanted an instant speed version of it. I've been playing Deduce. It's not very good. Whereas Consult the Star Charts, you cast this on turn 6. You're looking at the top 6 taking 2. And you've still got 2 mana spare.
It's not... I think it's important to note, I don't think it's going to fully like nerf stock up out of the water. It's just going to definitely be a better card in a lot of decks.
They're different cards, right?
Yeah.
Where stock up is the Blue Red Prowess deck in Standard was pretty much like the perfect stock up deck where you're looking for Corey Steelcutters and Storm Chasers talents and 1-drop spells, or some mixture within that, where you could go turn 3 stock up, get the Corey, get the Opt, untap, play the Corey, off you go. This card is very much a Memory Deluge. It's a control card. It's a fact or fiction style card where you don't really want to be playing it in an assertive deck because playing this on turn 2 in an assertive deck feels awful. And you're only looking at the top 2 cards. So really you want to be playing this on turn 4 at the end of your opponent's turn if they didn't do anything, because you're sitting there with 4 blue mana available and they're scared of a counter spell, scared of a no more lies, that sort of thing. And then you just go, cool, consult the star charts, draw 2, untap, play a land, go. And then you're in the exact same conundrum again, but I'm a card up and selection up. And then you do it again.
Yeah, this card's going to be great. Like, this card is going to be like super great. Like, I think
I'm buying 4 of these on release, and I'm not looking back.
And I think it'll go in all the right decks. It'll get there'll be people will probably start by playing this and stock up at the same time, and that will be completely wrong.
I think they're very different cards. They're just really different, even though they look similar. They're really, really different.
Yeah, and I'll even lean into the Jeskai control deck that if that still kicks around post rotation, like the big play pattern in that deck is remove their threat on turn 2 or counter their threat on turn 2 and then stock up on turn 3. You don't care
but then you like Day of Judgment on 4 so you don't fall too far behind, right? Yeah. Where
and this
if you're more of a leave mana up sort of deck, then you want Consult Star Charts.
Whereas I don't say that it might not play maybe 1 or 2 of these, but like ultimately that fits better for the type of deck. This is going to probably see more the Mia deck, the Azorius deck kind of control pearl. It's a brilliant card though, and I think it's an absolute top tier. This will come back to bite me in the butt, but like I don't think we'll see a better draw spell for a while in this.
I am gonna beat you with Consult the Star Charts so many times.
Yeah, you'll do some kind of storm thing. Consult the Star Charts is very good, purpose driven. Like if you are like purposely correct with what you say in there. I do completely agree with you. Um, one for the pondering is
One for the consulting.
one for the consulting even is going to be Cosmogolf. So
Yeah.
for everyone who's not seen Cosmogolf, black and a green, the creature's power is equal to the number of cards you own in exile, and its toughness is equal to that +1. So basically Tarmogoyf, but it has to be in exile rather than your graveyard.
It's also number of cards, not types.
Yes.
Specifically.
But it has to be in yours, not theirs. So
yeah, it's cards that you own in exile.
So this is something to like note with this is Severance Priest. When you Severance Priest and you take their card, you own it. That's right, isn't it? You own the card. Do you not own the card and it's yours? You've got the card in your exile.
Exile is a shared zone, darling.
It is. Hey, Purpose Driven Life, thank you even just lurking around. We love you very much. So it's not, so we're not even gonna get any benefit from that.
No.
Where's this getting played, or is it getting played?
Is Ketramos, right? Where we've seen Ketramos decks in Standard, we've seen Ketramos decks at Modern. They all play your Ghost Vacuums, your Relic of Progenitus, that sort of thing. It being black-green might be a burden, it might be a benefit, because you can kind of do... A lot of people talk about unbanning Deathrite Shaman in Modern, and one of the easiest arguments I give against that before getting into the mirrors stuff is Ketramos. You can turn 2 Ketramos, and then Deathrite Shaman is ramping you and you cards. You can do that in Standard with Molt Tender.
Do love a Molt Tender. I do love a Molt Tender.
We stan Molt Tender on this channel, on this podcast. So if you get a Ketramos down playing a Ghost Vacuum, you get to do the sort of Is It Vivi Cauldron thing of being able to play main deck Graveyard Hate, which is nice. It was proven to be good at the Pro Tour when people were playing with Is It Cauldron against Omniscience. So you get to do that sort of thing. Maybe you play Agatha's Soul Cauldron. I have no idea. But Cosmogoyf is just the beater on the end of it. Do you need it? Don't know. Maybe. Maybe it's a 2 or a 3 of, but it reminds me a little bit of like Souls of the Lost.
It does.
Which in the Golgari Graveyard deck was pretty good, but then that deck was entirely beaters, so... And do you want something that just does to go for the throat or whatever? Although I suppose go for the throat's rotating, but pick your murder effect. Shoot the sheriff. Elemental Lurgoyf is not an outlaw.
Yeah, you can't play these with the other graveyard card either, because they literally anti-synergy each other. Souls are lost in this, so
exactly.
So couple of ways you could take it. Could take a Ketramos way. You could take it. You could take a Sultine. You could take an Oculus, because there's no better way to feed your exile than casting an Oculus on 3 and like exiling 6 cards. Like, so be interesting, really, really interesting. And this is why we want to call this out as a we just don't know. I think this is probably another good example of a card that will start right up there, because it's a Goyf and everyone loves Tarmogoyf, so they really want to feel Tarmogoyf in Standard again. I think we're basically saying you might. It also might be shit.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, I stand by that. I don't think actual factual Tarmogoyf would actually be that good anymore.
I think I agree. Absolutely do.
I think it'd be okay in Pioneer. I don't think it'd be very good in Standard.
It's very much in the middle of the road. Something to think about, but probably the jury's out for a while.
Yeah,
we're actually very, very much in agreement of one that we think that is a definite opening your pre-release sell. This is overhyped. Frenzied Baloth. Take us through it.
Dies to Burst Lightning.
Dies to Burst Lightning. Dies to the new Bolt card. Dies easily. Doesn't trample over anything.
Everything.
and
It
it's
dies
two
to a
greens to play
stiff
it.
breeze. Yeah. So you look at this card and people are like, "Oh, but you get to play it with Llanowar Elves." Motherfucker, I want to play a 3-drop, not a 2-drop.
Yeah,
I
100%.
ain't playing Llanowar Elves to then play my second forest, play this thing, and then hit you for one with the Llanowar Elves, and maybe this thing as well. Oh, it dealt 3 damage to me. Cool. Untap, kill it, and
Yeah, what do you do, right? Like it's. I think this
like, do
one's
you want to play? Do you want to play this, or do you want to play Scrap Shooter?
exactly you
Exactly. And Scrap Shooter's not seeing that much play right now.
like on 2 you could with an elf you could get a 4/4
Scrap
out.
Shooter. 3 mana, 4/4 with reach and destroys an artifact or enchantment.
Yeah. So just I think it's actually trending at $15 in pre-release pricing. So I think that
Just in time for the One Ring.
it's you watch this be the catalyst for Run Ring getting unbanned. There'll be that you can get through it now thanks to Frenzy Baloff. They need to reprint it though. Someone said to me the other day that the rings are like heading up to £100 now. Ever since unbanning,
Commander.
it's crazy. Actually crazy.
Yeah, Commander needs them. I mean, I sold mine. Bought Mox Opals. It was worth it.
Commander needs a ringing. They absolutely do.
Needs ringing out, yeah.
But
Wait, did I sell my One Rings?
I think you did. Pretty sure you did. Oh, we're reserving judgment on the majority of the rest of the set until we sort of see a settle down of the final preview. So just for obviously, if there's anyone in any of the chats across YouTube or Twitch got a particular card that you think we should be calling out, or you've looked at and you've gone, that's going to be an absolute banger for me in the new season or going into your modern deck.
One thing I will say, just while we're waiting for people to type any card names in, is preview season is a time for people to really go over the top about everything, and they think everything's the second coming of Oko and it's going to break the format. We do not know what this format is going to look like because of rotation. We can theorize, we can go, oh, well, removal's getting worse, that sort of thing, but then we might have missed an uncommon in the set. Like, timeline color might be exactly what mono black needs to go over the top. It might be there's some busted Rust Harvester combo deck where it uses that, or that like breaks hardened scales in modern, that sort of thing. It's really hard to tell with modern being the size that it is and with so many unique effects. You really can't tell about modern effects very easily. Pioneer is its own beast. No one's really iterating on it. Standard itself, with rotation as well, we are treading new ground with Standard being the size that it has been already. And this is the first rotation we've had while Standard's been that size.
Yeah.
Like, Shieldred is still legal, which blows my mind. It feels like that card was printed 11 years ago. But we're going into a new world and a new standard, and I want to point that out once again with the bans as well, is they were banning for that standard, not this standard. So the people complaining about Dimir midrange, thinking, oh, they didn't ban enough cards, they should have banned Enduring Curiosity. Shut up. It's a format for like another 2 weeks. Grow up, touch grass, stop playing if you're not enjoying the format. Wait for it to rotate. It's going to look completely different.
Yeah, so many other things you could be doing. Like it's still modern RCQ season. Like we ourselves are off for a trip on the weekend, go and stretch some modern legs, and we'll take the cameras because that's going to be the most entertainment for the day. Because watching the top 8 rather than being in it.
Yeah, we're very good at doing that normally.
And
I'm just going to go look through the bulk pile. Let me know when you're done.
Let me just pop to the singles of the shop. I'll take away as much as I would have won, but I'll give you my credit card for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely other things to do. Like obviously, pre-release is just around the corner, and you can play in multiple formats now. Like Wizards got all these like buy a box league stuff
Just
going on.
go on Modo and just play like a vintage cube. Just relax, have fun.
Go play the Pioneer Weekly. Like this is
Yeah.
gonna be hell of a good time to go stretch your legs. Play a format that's a little bit like it's solved, but like if you come along with the solving of the solved, winner. Like
it's a deep format, and there's a lot of interactions in there that will do different things into different meta games. And if you think you've seen a hole, then go for it. I'm registering Pyromancer's goggles in standard tomorrow because I think I've seen something. I think I found a hole, and I'm just gonna try it. Is it good? Almost definitely not. Is it fun? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just doing it. I don't care. If I walk out with 200 quid, I walk out with 200 quid. I have just seen Spider's Web calling out slivers in the set. It's literally just going to be thrumming hive pool, and I'm sorry. Slivers in a set takes up too much of the design file to be supported. That's why in MH1, when they did it with changelings. And then they did it in the same hand as they had some ninjas and they had some slivers and that sort of thing. And
Jen's coming
really
along,
hard.
boo, boo.
It's really hard to do one set, especially now we don't have blocks. It's even less likely that we're going to see slivers in a standard set, not a supplementary set. MH3, put more slivers in. I don't care. I think slivers are really good. I think they're really fun, and they are not the most interesting deck building puzzle in the world, but the people who love them really love them. And Twitch chat going off at me because I've said I don't think there's going to be more than one sliver card in here is proof that they should do more with that sort of thing. And they're doing fan service. They're going to Lorwyn next year after delaying it so they could do Spider-Man or Avatar. Take your pick.
Both,
I don't know.
I know.
The card in question though, Thrumming Hive Pool, 6 mana, affinity for slivers. Slivers you control have double strike and haste. At the beginning of your upkeep, create 2 1/1 colorless sliver creature tokens. Now, the one thing I will say is my partner played slivers in Modern for about 7 or 8 years straight, and this was before MH1. They played slivers, and then MH1 happened. They continued playing slivers, and they were doing well at Axion events with it, where they had no right doing as well as they did. But again, it's what I always talk about with deck mastery to a certain extent, but also we worked on it really hard, and we were finding ways to work around the format. Teferi Time Raveler was really popular. We played Lava Belly Sliver because you could untap on turn 3, play a Lava Belly, and kill the Teferi and trade up in that way. So this card, Double Strike, is actually really hard to get on Slivers. Really hard. And the fact that you can play this card fairly comfortably on turn 3, that's pretty good. Haste is a bit redundant because one of the best slivers is Cloud Shredder Sliver anyway. But Double Strike, really good. Really interesting. And I know for a categoric fact that my partner's going to be sleeving up them damn Aether Vials that I've thankfully cut from my Blink deck. And she's going to be rocking up for weekly moderns with Dregscape Sliver and Predatory Sliver and Sinew Sliver and all the big hitters. And she's going to be 18ing people out of nowhere again. And I'll see a smile on her face, even if she loses.
That's it. I think like Typal decks are fun, aren't they? Like whenever we have a new set, like with Final Fantasy, like that first week was Birds, right? Like that was cool to see it happen, but tends to fall off when formats get bigger. I don't see any problem in Slivers fitting a role of getting each set 1 or 2 cool cards printed, which then help filter the modern format with making Slivers hold its own in modern. That's what I like to see, and I think that's what I still think that's where design's going. I've said this previously about there's a good chance Modern Horizons they do sunset it if they start putting cards like this seeded into the standard sets around.
But it I think the first time we saw it happen in Magic full stop was around Masks block and the years after that, where I wasn't around, but I've talked to plenty of people who are old enough to have been around. Because that set cared about rebels and mercenaries, and the only ones we'd seen up to that point were in Masks block, whenever a set came out, people would be looking at it and going, "Where's the mercenary? Where's the rebel? Where's the mercenary?" For years, the deck was not good. One random mercenary wasn't going to dethrone Lin Civi or whatever, but it got people excited and they kept looking and they just went, right, okay, what can we do? What can we do? What can we do?
Yeah, it's like I had a very hot obsession with soldiers at one point. Like that's a story for
Yeah.
another day. But in my Magic
But it's
obsession,
but it's like soldiers, like warriors from original Tarkir block, because you had Chief of the Scale, I think it was, which was the 2-drop that buffed warriors power. You had people looking at the sets afterwards and going, "Oh, like, are there some warriors in here that we can work with? Is there something here?" It Bloomburrow and Final Fantasy both had bird synergies, and those sets existing meant people were looking through March of the Machines to see if there were any birds that they'd forgotten about.
exactly. Yeah,
That's great. Keep doing that.
yeah. There's
Give them a random sliver card. Who cares?
and I think the return to like the bigger form, the bigger pros playing standard, the bigger tournaments gives like better chance of these type of things happening. Like credit the content creators who do their daily videos. I know they all try things, and we all play enough games. Right? If I sat at my desk for 30 games a day, I'd find at least 5 matchups of a particular brew that made it look to you that I've just built the next world beater. We all know that the formats get quite solved quite quickly, but when we have those big tournaments like your SCG cons, like your Spotlight series, and suddenly a team go, here is Azorius Cats, boom,
Yeah.
and they dominate. That's some of the more fun moments in Magic where you go,
Yeah,
how do you figure
the
that out?
Rakdos Vampires deck, right? That's the biggest one in recent memory where we all looked at the metagame breakdown for the Pro Tour, saw Rakdos Vampires, and were like, "Oh shit!" Like
Yeah,
a team has found something. You like start looking desperately to see who it is, and you realize it's like 98% of Channel Fireball, and you're this is either going to go really well for them or really badly. It They played, I think, a blue green Urza deck that had something like a 21% win because they thought they'd found something. They hadn't. It was crap. But then they play the Rakdos Vampires deck, and we're all watching it and going, "Oh wow, this is really powerful." And then 2 months later, we're all complaining, going, "Ban Sorin because the format's boring and it's so solved." When you could just iterate and try stuff.
exactly right. And that's what we encourage you all to be doing, not only with the new set. This week they were playing Pioneer, and we asked on the feeds on Bluesky and X. We asked you to let us know what you'd be playing. Money no object, time no object in this upcoming week. So let's go through a couple of what people mentioned. We'll start with Big Man Kaz. What I want to reappear to continue my out of touch approach is Chonky Red being back. Rabble Master.
Big Boros.
Yeah, don't mind if I do. I think he's purposely put in Glory Banger. I hope he realizes it's Glory
It's a
Banger.
glory banger, man.
Go straight in my basket. Ember Cleave. Be a fool to Ember Leave. Am I right? Bring back Torch to Defiance as a solid answer. And then just underneath it just goes, yeah, mono red, maybe. It's just
Yeah.
I'm actually gonna play mono red.
It's literally my thinking about it. Every time you're like, should we have a look at Pioneer for an episode? I'm like, yeah, I can come up with this fun stuff, but my actual answer is I'll play Heartfire Hero, thanks.
Yeah, we usually start with whose play points are we using. That's the sort of.
Am I on the Daybreak account?
I know, right? Oh, Nick B, Nick B MTG. We know Nick. Our favorite element plays will go Katoria's combo. I thought I said controller, and I was like, "What are you smoking?" Like, yeah, that still exists in Pioneer even without the pieces. Probably not an not an online deck though. From what the current meta seems, just way too long in the tough. You're not getting to turn 5 without major interaction. Um, Friends obviously of the channel like Francis and it just dropping in Junsack and Phoenix. No more questions. No argument there. Toaster actually doing the God's work, being a proper content creator, and actually linking us a deck to look at. So,
Let's have a look. How many Mayhem Devils?
Shout out Battle Chad. The Battle Chad
4.
dropping us the Yeager deck. Solid bit of like multi-clicking. This is on Magic Online. Only 64 tickets as well. We actually had a bit of a musing this week about the fact that what's the cheapest format on Magic Online, and actually the second most expensive format was Pauper. It's like because of
because random stuff is like 50 ticks.
Yeah, like all the niche cards you'd have to put. But I love this deck. I love this. This is fun to play. It's way too big brain. I wish I missed way too many triggers. But I'm sure Toaster does much better than I would.
I'll be that guy. I hate this deck. I think it's so boring.
Live to light, preferably you have Yoriad, please and thank you. Yeah, Brindis is Scott's favorite. We got a few more stock Phoenix, Gastino. Yes, Mono Red or Orzhov Greasefang. That's a good choice. We're liking that. The Skirm Dog. Dan Skirman's in here. Gotta be some elf action. It does. Actually,
the day that boy registers anything other than Basic Forest is the day we all quit.
Yeah, at that point we've gone like, what has happened?
He knows what he like. He knows what he likes. He likes what he knows. He's just here to play some big fucking doofus and smash face with it.
I don't want to figure this out. Go face. Like, a few more. So Armandi's Mono Red, Fab Mono Red. Honestly, before I even go through any more, like shout out Magic, Twitter, Bluesky for interacting and being around and letting us do this kind of stuff because. Loads of you had a good old chat. Mono Green with Khan was wronged. Yeah, Nervos, you can't register that. But I don't agree at the time. I think Khan had to go out on Mono Green at that time. I think it could come back now if they were brave.
What's the point?
But the deck was.
It's not fun.
The deck was like a sort of a combo deck, really, wasn't it? Mono Black mid range. I like
Mono Black mid range. Okay.
Yeah, Mono Blue Spirits. No, I had too many bad memories of our local meta was Spirits for so long. So like you had to play a bad deck to beat them, which meant then when you went to play RCQs, you got beat by everyone else.
And then I turned up like 3 months after Spirits was out the format. Asked Jack on the way there. I was like, "Hey, yo, you got a deck for me?" It was like, "Yeah, I'll put something together." Played Mono Blue Spirits and just kicked people's head in with it.
Look at this sexy suggestion. Death Shadow, Last Ride, Cecil, Bob, and Scourge of the Scourclaves. Honestly, I'd have given you all the points if you'd have added a list. Let's just double check. Did he add a list? I just clicked on probably spam.
Last Ride, Cecil, Bob, Scourge of the Skyclaves, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push.
Yeah.
Shocklands.
Yeah. There's something there. Everybody else dropping some comments, and obviously we had very similar comments over on Bluesky too. So we will be putting obviously a post up to say like who actually won these and actually what was the result. But obviously for the pod, we did a random generator before this chat. And where is my random generator gone? And otherwise we're going to be doing a new random generator. No, here it is. So we finished up with the winners being Bosch Fred, Hilo, Phantom Nomad MTG, Mateus Vizios MTG, and as just mentioned, from the Battle Chaz himself, Toaster, all taking down the 120 play points. I'm pretty sure I can give him to Toaster, even though Christian from Chad Magic's now one of our creators. I think he can still have some side benefits if it's from a different channel, but we'll double check. We don't want to get in trouble with Daddy. Sorry, Torben. But yeah, no, big week ahead for Pioneer. Big week ahead for us. Obviously, we have store champs tomorrow, which I see Scott's registering some crazy stuff. That'd be a fantastic story if he comes away with the
Do you want
W.
my deck list just to give him a flash?
Yeah, let's give a flash of the deck list of what's happening tomorrow.
So what I will say is I am struggling to source the 4th Jeskai revelation.
Yeah, that's such a
There
high meta card.
Hey, listen, man. You play a Hedron Archive on turn 4, Jeskai Revelation on turn 5, you ain't losing that.
That's true. Flush. Everyone loves a Thunder Trap trainer, don't they? It's great.
Oh, yeah. Finds Pyromancer's goggles. What are you on about?
That's true. We also talk next week to someone who loves Thunder Trap Trainer, which we'll go into just before we end. So Jeskai Goggles. You play your Thunder Trap Trainer and your Storm Brood. Do you ever even cast this? I guess you do from time to time.
You can.
Yeah.
You can. Gaining 5 life is like actually big game.
I like how you say because in this deck, yes, you can, but there's other decks which like play this card and have no intention to ever cast the white.
Yeah, Mono Red plays it and they don't even bother. Like play one Battlefield Forge or something.
I think play Lightning Heat. Play Boros Charm as well, baby. Like I think that could be a new meta aggro deck. But
take your pick.
That's for another set. Obviously, Burst Lightning deduced Man Answers. Ultimately, what you're looking to do is copy Pyromancer's with Pyromancer's Goggles. You're looking to copy a Burst Lightning, copy a Jeskai Revelation.
Yeah, you're looking to copy a Jeskai Revelation, baby. None of this burst. none of this small potato shit.
Do you know what? That I love it. I can't wait to hear this.
What I will say is the mana base is a clusterfuck because it is cards I own.
But then also do remember for other people looking at like this as a brew, we've got some fantastic shock lands coming into this color pie, and
isn't it just Sacred Foundry?
Yeah, but it's gonna help, but bolster this out so that you can.
It makes white mana significantly more achievable because I don't have to play Battlefield Forge anymore, and that'll make me happy.
Yeah, it's just a straight swap out, really, isn't it? Like Battlefield Forge, and definitely upgrades across the piece. And bye bye Painlands. It was nice having you, but it's a Shockland.
I think I literally might just take out the 3 Painlands and put in 3 Sacred Foundries. It's probably fine.
It's a Shockland world that we live in. So Scott bought me with the goggles nonsense. It was a what you fuck moment. A fun one though. Yeah, absolutely is. Absolutely was something that I love to see. I just love to see we have so many people just brewing and like playing and enjoying, and I actually quite looking forward to like an RCQ time where people are playing Magic on the weekends, and like actually they're just happy to be playing Magic, and like the qualifications and everything is all sort of like just as part of it as well. But we're gonna go and we're gonna play Modern on the weekend to see like how we playing. Is it Prowess?
You need to win matches of Magic to qualify, Dave. This is what you don't understand. This is what we can't do.
I know. And I've had my one time. You know, like they always say, everyone gets a one time. Had my one time this weekend, so I'm just lighting £30 on fire this weekend. But it's okay.
Whoa. £60.
Yeah, it's £60 on fire. Yeah. Oh, that's not me lighting on fire. That's the support from the channel. And obviously, like, shout out to everyone who's here. Obviously, everyone who's on YouTube, thank you so much. If you are there and you haven't hit the sub button, it's free. Crack on. I would love you. And if you are in Twitch chat right now and you have just been lurking, you can do it after we've left as well. Just drop us that old follow and get our numbers up. Although I was a little sad when we left the 420. When we were on 420 and we just did the stream for 2 weeks, and I gotta admit, part of it was me going, I like just being at this number. It was kind of a good meme to have.
You are so white and 40.
It's the charm and the appeal, baby.
No, we agreed that was the shininess of your head.
Yeah, which is why we couldn't start till 8:30, because if we'd done this at 6:30 with the weather it's been in the UK right now. Obviously the videos as normal and on Spotify go up not too long after this is finished. If you had joined us on the live stream, do let us know on there, and if you do enjoy this a lot more, maybe this is the way we'll play it going forward. But if you like us to just go and have a little bit more of a focused chat edited afterwards, let us know that too. more content on the channel this week as well. There is gameplay every Wednesday, every Sunday, and as soon as I've got my head in what the vlog footage we took, 'cause we took an absolute bucket load of videos whilst we were out in Gloucester. That will be up to, and it'll be where you can all go and see Full Fire for the first time if you are potentially even close to qualifying for the Unity League finals. This will hopefully be another reason for you to push through and get those extra points. Any final words, Scott?
Happening next week, Dave.
It's happening next week. The first.
What's the get your deck out for next week? Are we giving that away?
Next week, we are speaking to one of Magic short form content's best known people, but also no one knows who they are. That's Dog Food for Girls, otherwise known as Olivia, known for possibly doing the best one-liner memes on the short form element that's not TikTok. So in other words, on Bluesky, on X. Talk to them about their love for Pauper, their love for Modern, what they're doing for the game as well now at the moment. Like, you know, we love to find people around who are like just actually promoting more paper Magic and more constructed gameplay. Like, it's just a really great story, and it's a really great like chat that we have. So you'll see that on the channel on the Monday, and then we will talk a bit more about this next week. But we have plans in motion to bring you a live from the pre-release episode the weekend after, when we all get to Edge to our eternity, and maybe there'll be a bunch of giveaways thanks to some additional product that we get. When we all get down and start putting our Shocklands in our standard decks. So thank you everyone for joining us. If you are on Twitch, thank you very much. If you are on YouTube, thank you very much. Until next time, don't forget to get your deck out.
We love you.
And we're still live on Twitch still, if you are still here. So I just thought I'd just end the YouTube because that like neatens it off nicely. So